is the money is in the follow-up. So why is the money in the follow-up?
Yeah, the money's in the follow-up for a couple of reasons. And you know, for those who get the book, they'll read what CJ Quinney, who's ET's right-hand man, said to me. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you, right? I was in pursuit of ET. I didn't know who he was. As a matter of fact, the first thing I did, because I knew that Eric Thomas was a pastor and that he was out of the Detroit area, was I reached out to two members of my network who are from Detroit, and I asked them if they knew of an Eric Thomas. And they said, yeah, we know Eric Thomas. And they introduced me to a pastor named Eric Thomas, but it wasn't E.T. the hip hop preacher, right? And so as I'm going through the process, I end up attracting a guy through a mutual connection who says to me, E.T. is my mentor. And I remember to this day how I felt and where I was when I had this conversation. I was literally in my carport, and as he's telling me this, I'm about to have a hallelujah shout out in my car. And because I was just blown away that here I was on this journey, and I meet this guy who I didn't really know well. He tells me that ET's his mentor, and he eventually connects me to CJ, who's ET's right-hand man. And so I'm having a conversation with CJ, just like I'm having a conversation with you. I'm going on and on about who I am and what I'm looking to accomplish. And he says this one statement that rocked my world, CJ. He says, 98% of people never follow up. Don't be a part of the 98%. And he hangs up the phone, right? He hangs up the phone. Now, I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, right? I grew up in a single-parent home. My father was murdered when I was 2. I didn't take too kindly of being hung up on. I'm like, hold on, I'm about to call this dude back. Like, who you think you are, blah, blah, blah. But he taught me a valuable lesson because people talk a lot of game. They got a lot of talk, but they don't follow up. They don't follow through. And so initially, it really hits for those who are in sales or business development, right? You're not going to initially land business from everybody you talk to on the first conversation. It might take 7 to 12 touches before the person even decides to do business with you, right? So when we look at business and we understand that, you know, business is relationship, right? So as you build a relationship, it's the money is in the follow-up. The currency is in the follow-up. You think about you and me. I mean, we connected, and what have we been doing ever since we connected the initial time? We've been following up and following up and following up, and we've added tremendous value to each other. So that topic, the money is in the follow-up, and I'm not going to give away the whole chapter, right? But I want people to understand the blessing is when you follow up, because the more you follow up, the more you show the marketplace that you're genuinely serious about acquiring that which you say you want to get, right? And so, and then sometimes you might get a sale on the first time, but that shouldn't be the only time you talk to the client. You should be continuously following up with them. Why? Because that client can do 3 things. Number one, they could lead you to another client, right? They could, because you connected with them, they can then refer you to other people. Number 2, they can do more business with you, right? So they can say, okay, what else you got, man? You gave me, I bought your book. What else you got? Oh, you got a workshop? Let me get that. Oh, you got a group coaching program? Let me get that. Oh, you got a mastermind? Let me get that. So they're going to level up, right? And then the third thing they could do is they can partner with you, right? That's the highest level of collaboration. I'm working with a frat brother of ours out of Miami, and his name is Halston Shannon. And Halston is a dynamic graphic designer, sharp young man. I met him in 2020. And as a result of that one interaction, we began to level up and follow up together. Now, we've gone from him being a client where I helped him with his first book, right? To now he's a part of my coaching community, right? So I get to work with him ongoing. And we've partnered to develop an initiative called LinkedIn for Alphas, where now we're going to target our alpha brothers to show them how to leverage LinkedIn as a PR tool so they can increase their influence, their impact, and their income, while also using the tool as a reactivation tool to get brothers back into the fold, right? To add value to the fraternity that's added value to us. So the money is in a follow-up. There's every time you follow, and then you don't want to just say, hey, I'm just following up to see you want to buy something. No, I'm building a relationship with you to see where there are other ways that I can add value. So when we think about the money is in the follow-up, it is indeed in the follow-up. But here's the thing that CJ said, CJ Quinney, 98% of people don't follow up. Don't be a part of the 98%.
Wow. Hey, I'll follow up.
If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. If by Rudyard Kipling.